What's good, YouTube? It's jazzlovesmma here, and we're doing a full card breakdown of UFC Winnipeg, Canada. Let's break it down. Um, Jamie Siraj versus John Yanis. This is a short notice bout. It was me like last week, I think. John Yanis, a dude who came in on short notice, I believe, against Austin Bashi, and got rear naked in round one. And he's facing the Canadian Jamie Siraj, who has a couple submissions. He has 7 submissions, and he's off back-to-back rear naked chokes. So I'm going to predict that Jamie Siraj will either win a somewhat lackluster decision, or he'll get a round 2 rear naked on John Yanis, who just doesn't have the grappling, in my opinion, to survive. So yeah, I think either it's a short notice fight, so Jamie Siraj just takes it to a decision because he didn't have enough prep, or he's able to get the finish because Yannis didn't have enough time to prepare. So yeah, the prediction will be Jamie Siraj. Moving on to John Castaneda versus Mark Vologden. This card isn't that bad. I know that everyone's saying it's the worst card ever, man. This should slop. It kind of is. It is just kind of shitty matchups made on paper. And when you just look at the names, you're like, who are these people? But if you know ball, you know Mark Vologden had a fight of the year contender on Dana White's Contender Series. Awesome fight. Little baby Terminator looking Russian dude. He literally has a baby face right here. So, you know. But I'm not gonna pick him. I'm gonna pick John Castaneda by decision. Mark Vologden had a very close fight with that dude Martinetti, who is Ecuadorian. I thought he was Italian. He's Ecuadorian. He's fighting next week actually against Davey Grant. And that dude sucks. So I believe this is gonna be one of those Dana White Contender Series fights where the dude coming off the Dana White Contender Series, he's hyped up. He's had an awesome fight. We had an awesome finish um in this example. It is Mark Vologden who had an amazing fight. So he's gonna get a lot of people picking him. But I'm gonna lean with John Castaneda. I just think he's gonna be better. He's fought decent competition. He's been in UFC for a bit. He had a decently close fight with Chris Gutierrez, who isn't really the best, but he's been at the higher level. He almost finished Daniel Santos, who is a prospect I rate. I definitely rate him more than Mark Vologden. So yeah, I don't see Mark Vologden winning. Maybe he catches John Castaneda and puts him out, but that's the only way I see him winning this fight. He has already massive scar tissue that Castaneda can probably open up. So yeah, I'm gonna pick him. And John Castaneda is probably just like a better version of what Martinetti is. Moving on to JJ Aldrich versus Jamie Linhorth. Didn't do a lot of tape. Not even tape. I didn't even do a lot of looking into JJ Aldrich. I feel like I haven't seen her in ages. I've probably watched her fight in like 2024, 2 years ago, and she's fighting Jamie Linhorth, who is a little lanky striker. And I'm gonna pick Jamie Linhorth by like round 2 KO. I believe that Jamie Linhorth has decent finishing ability for a women's MMA fighter. We'll talk about another one later on. And I just think that she's just better. She can get her grappled at moments, but she's decent get ups. She can defend the takedowns. And I rate her on the feet. So I'm gonna pick Jamie Linhorth by round 2 KO. It could just be her beating up JJ Aldrich for 3 rounds as well. So I wouldn't be surprised with that. Moving on to Mitch Raposo versus Alan Nascimento. I think this fight can be close. Mitch Raposo has had close fights with guys like Andre Lima. Boring, nothing happening fight where Andre Lima clearly won, but it was a weird, somehow split decision. He had one of those against with Sumawerji where he's out grappling these guys for like a second where he gets like on a single leg and just hold it and gets control time. But on the feet he's just getting picked apart. And Alan Nascimento, he lost the first round to Cody Durden, but he dropped him in round 2 with an elbow. So I think Alan Nascimento's better finishing ability on the feet. And if Mitch Raposo does get Nascimento down, I think Nascimento is the way better grappler. He now grappled Phil Ho, who is someone I rate. He subbed Cody Durden. We've seen guys who don't have. Well, he did sub him after hurting with that elbow. So Sure. But Mr. Raposo beat Adam Maxim, who in hindsight, he had a close split decision with Tagir, but so did Alan Nascimento. Hold on. If you go split decision with Tagir, maybe you just lose to Mitch Raposo, but I'm gonna trust in Alan Nascimento to get a round 2 submission here. Round 1's probably tricky. Round 2, he probably lets Mitch Raposo take him down. He gets sub off his back or something. So yeah, pick is gonna be around Alan Nascimento by round 2 submission. I don't think he gets a KO here, but he can probably get a sub. Moving on to Melissa Croden versus Daria Zelensiakova. This is the girl I was talking about, Melissa Croden, a actual WMA finisher. She gets a lot of finish. I think she was off 3 KOs coming into her last fight with Luana Santos, which she lost by decision. She's fighting Daria Zelensiakova, who I believe was TKO'd by Melissa Mullins. So that has me worried. She was also submitted by Aylin Perez. That has me worried as well. I'm going to lean Daria Zelensiakova by decision. I'm not the best at predicting WMA fights. If you guys haven't if you can't tell by some of my predictions, but I'm gonna lean Zelensiakova by having a grappling edge. Luana Santos but Luana Santos is a really good grappler. She has really good judo, and some of the takedowns she was getting was really nice. Do I just trust in Melissa Croda to be able to break Zelensiakova? Daria Zelensiakova has a win over Monse Henna. Oh, hold on. That's a crazy win. I just see it's either Croden eventually getting round 2 or round 3 TKO and breaking Zelensiakova, or Zelensiakova just smudging WMA 29-28, has a bad run where she's getting pieced up type of decision. And I think I'm gonna have to pick Zelensiakova by a grappling edge. Croden is good. She is big. She is physical. She can get up. And if you're getting let me check. Did she actually get TKO'd by Melissa Mullins? I actually don't remember that. Because I feel like when she fought Melissa Mullins twice. Her last fight was Melissa Mullins. She won by like close decision, I think. What was she? She's kind of beautiful woman. Beautiful woman on this card. Beautiful woman. And she has one TKO loss. It was by Melissa Mullins by ground and pound TKO. And then she went on 2-fight win streak. Wow. She only has 3 fights in the UFC. Hands on Aiden Perez, Melissa Mullins. While Croden, Lisboa isn't that good. Luana Santos. She's a finisher, man. She does get finishes. Let me check how much finishes she has. I feel like I checked this, but I didn't like really look into it. She has 6 finishes, and like she only breaks girls. She doesn't have a single decision. So her only 3 losses have been by decision, and she's only a finisher. So this fight that she goes only 2 ways. Why am I spending so much time on this fight? He goes 2 ways. Melissa Croden breaks. I might have to just pick Melissa Croden. It's in Canada. I'm gonna pick her by KO. Whatever. I think I won't be surprised if Zelensiakova just outgrapples. So I might just switch this pick. I don't even know. I might leave a comment on this post if I do end up switching my pick, but I'm picking Melissa Croden right now. I switched it. Melissa Croden by round 2 TKO. I think she's gonna have a tricky round 1 where she gets taken down, where she's gonna end up finishing Zelensiakova early round 2, maybe goes to the 3rd. Moving on to Tanner Boser versus Gakhan Sarikam. This is a Turkey guy, Turkish power, Ibo Aslan versus Tanner Boser. I'm gonna pick Tanner Boser by decision. I think he's just had far more experience. I wouldn't be surprised if Sarikam just bombs him at his heavyweight. But yeah, I don't have much to say. This dude Tanner Boser literally got turned into a commentator for a bit. So I'm just gonna lead him by decision on Blobmax. Julien Leblanc versus Robert Valentin. The Swiss Yuri Prohashka, that's somehow worse. I'm going to pick Robert Valentin here. I think he has a little bit more finishing ability. And he has fought tough competition in the UFC. He fought Gautier. He fought Ryan Loder. He fought Taurus Finney. If you score the Taurus Finney fight based off damage, Robert Valentin does win that. Like purely off damage. But he was getting ragdolled the entire fight pretty much. And he got finished by Gautier, but that's just Gautier just bombs people. And if you don't have a crazy chin like Puliev who can eat shots like that, you get put out like Valentin. Like even Jose Medina was a guy who normally weathers the storm and survives like gritty. Just him getting beat up for 3 rounds, and Gautier cracked his chin. Put him away. He was the first guy to do it. So I'm gonna pick Valentin here by KO. He is a good finisher. He mostly gets submissions, but I think he can try to get a KO here. I literally have no idea who Julian LeBlanc is, and I wouldn't be surprised if LeBlanc beats Valentin because Valentin's not that good. He was off the Ultimate Fighter. This was the dude I was talking about. He just sucks. Yeah, but he might actually win here. So I'm gonna pick him by round 2 KO. Yeah. Dennis Bazooka versus Mauricio Barbosa to open up the main card. This is a re-recording. I made a video last night of me doing these predictions, and I've literally already like switched two of them. I was originally gonna pick Dennis Bazooka because I was like, oh, he has good recovery. He's battle tested in the UFC. And yeah, he's great. He's not that bad. He fought Marshall. I think Dennis Marshall, and he only lost round 3 because he got dropped early in the rounds, and then pretty much beat Marshall the entire round. But if you're getting cracked by Dennis Marshall like that, a powerhouse like Mauricio Barbosa will probably just crack you and finish you and put you away. I'm gonna pick Barbosa by round 1 KO. And yeah, I think Dennis Bazooka has a KO loss at some point. He fought someone and oh man, I'm blanking when he lost to. But his only UFC win is Connor Matthews, who's kind of just a victim. He gets finished by Yadir Devalle by in round 1 submission. We found out he's not that good. Jose Delgado knees him, puts him out. A decent prospect, but he's nothing. He's not the finisher that we thought he was against certain levels of competition. So I'm gonna pick Barbosa. Let me see who Bazooka actually lost to. Because I want to make sure that I looked at his record correctly. It's Francis Marshall. Jamal Everett, who's a tall, lanky dude. Yeah, he lost before that to Sean Woodson, who's another tall, lanky dude. But I think Barbosa just hits hard. Brazilian power puncher. I think he's just going to crack and put out Dennis Bazooka. Have a great debut. I am worried for this pick, though. A lot of the Dana White series debuting guys have been getting fraud checks, so I wouldn't be surprised. Moving on to Thiago Moises versus Gage Young. This is a tricky fight. I'm going to pick Gage Young by decision. He's had a tough start of his UFC career. He was on Contender Series. He fought Salkilled, had a scrappy fight with him. Salkilled, it's gonna looking like to be nearly about to be a top 10 fighter. Then he fought in his debut. Yeah, he probably had a win after that, a couple wins after that, like 1 or 2. Got signed short notice against Evan Elder, who's a very crafty guy. He's a crafty dude, and he's an underrated prospect. He beat up Gage Young over like at least 2 rounds. I think it was 29-20 or something like that. And then he had a close fight with Masahate, who wasn't the best. That was a pretty bad performance. But Thiago Moises doesn't really look that good. He had a pretty shitty performance against Trey Ogden, if I'm remembering that correctly. Ludwig Klein beat him up over 3, but that's Ludwig Klein. He's a high level prospect, so I don't think he's as good as those guys. I don't think he's as good as Ludwig Klein. I don't rate him like Jerry Gordon, who knocked him on round 1. But I think he'll get a gritty, tough decision. Maybe he has a tricky moment around 1 or 2 where he gets his back taken or he gets out grappled and there's a submission attempt, but he survives. I'm going to just lead him Gage Young by decision. I'm going to trust in the prospect to be evolving rather than the gatekeeper who is just got chinning around in the last fight. It's been a couple months since that though. He took a long layoff. I think he was supposed to fight someone else at some point, but he had to pull out. So yeah, the pick is gonna be Cage Young decision. Please, not another lightweight prospect I'd like to get project. Moving on to Jasmine Jasuda versus Karine Silva. Karine Silva's shit. She's been out-rivaled by pretty much all her opponents, and Jasmine Jasudovic is one of the better grapplers in this division. I'm gonna pick her by balling decision. Maybe she finds maybe she finds a finish late. Maybe she finds a submission. But I'm just gonna pick her by decision. I rate her a lot more. The Mana Fiora loss is something that changes my mind. You know, Karine Silva isn't hit, or she's kind of shit. So yeah, the pick is gonna be Jasmine Jasudovic. We love Jasmine Jasudovic. We ride. She's our agenda. We will be tuning into this fight. Mendo Nalo versus Chad Herbert. Mendo Nalo having that nasty knockout on the Contender Series for the Silva dude from Cage Warriors. He's Canadian, rat garbage. He's fighting Chad Herbert, who is a lanky dude who's coming off that split decision with Chris Padilla, who I thought Chris Padilla clearly won that fight. It was close though. He also fought the Peruvian dude who was kind of shit. He lost to Jamie Malarkey. I'm gonna pick Mendonado by KO here. I am worried because Jack Herbert is good. You know, you got Ilya with the head kick. He's tricky, but I think Mendonada's gonna have the power to put away Jack Herbert in round one. Maybe round one or round two. One of those two rounds. Jack Herbert isn't that good. So I'm leaning with the Canadians on this card. Maybe they just all lose because I'm awful at picks and I cursed them. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Mendonado round one or two KO. I am worried for this pick, just like Manos Marcio Barbosa. I think I was calling him Mauricio. I'm worried it's like crafty decision by Jack Herbert because Jack Herbert took Ludwig Klein to a draw at a good performance. I think there was like a point taken off, so Ludwig Klein ended up getting the draw. He won like round 3, I think, and that's how he got it. And yeah, I remember another good Jack Herbert performance, but in hindsight, Chris Paddy isn't the hardest hitter, so that's probably why he didn't put away Jack Herbert. It was a weird fight as well. Low output, boring. So yeah, gonna trust in Mendonado rat garbage to win this. Moving on to, is this the co-main? Yeah, the co-main event. Oh man, this card isn't really that good. Kyler Phillips versus Charles Jourdain. I believe Charles Jourdain is better this year everywhere. Kyler Phillips is a 1 or 2 minute fighter. Then after the first 2 minutes of a fight, takes a big decline. We saw that in the Vinicius Oliveira fight, excuse me. We saw that in the Vinicius Oliveira fight. Got mauled. It was pretty a shit fight, to be fair. But after the first minute, he just gasses out. Rob Font, first minute, just gasses out, gets pieced up the rest of the rounds. And he has a decent chance to not get knocked out. He was getting rocked and dropped by Vinicius Oliveira, but I'm going to pick Charles Jourdain here by decision. But I wouldn't be surprised if he sees Kyler Phillips with gas, knees the body or something, finds a ghillie after Kyler Phillips shoots his shitty takedown because he's hurt, he's gas. So I wouldn't be surprised at like a late round finish, like round 3. Kyler Phillips was completely gassed. Jourdain's still good, he's still there, and he ends up finding a finisher maybe rounds 2 or 3. But I'm gonna pick him by decision. I'm gonna trust in Kyler Phillips having a chin. But he Charles did flying knee Davy Grant. Found the ghillie. So I'm gonna pick, I don't know. I'm changing my tone. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm gonna pick maybe George Jourdain by round 2 KO or submission. I just feel like he's gonna be able to get the finish on Kyler Phillips. I think Kyler Phillips is fought people who don't capitalize on like people breaking in front of them, and I think Charles Jourdain is gonna be the guy to do that. You know, Kyler Phillips fought Vinicius Oliveira, and Vinicius Oliveira in hindsight isn't that good. And he doesn't capitalize on. He's not that big of a finisher. He did do it against Sopaj. That's whatever. And then Raffont isn't much of a finisher. He can't finish because he finished Yanez, but he had broken Tyler Phillips in front of him, and he just didn't do anything. So yeah, I'm just gonna lean Charles Jourdain round 2 finish. Maybe I should just stick with this decision pick. But I think round 2, round 3 finish around there will be my prediction. Moving on to the most orless main events ever. Gilbert Burns versus Mike Malott. I like Gilbert, but I do not like how he's looked in his last couple fights. He made Sean Brady look like Max Holloway on the feet. He was also getting ragdoll in that fight. Brady is good though, but he's not what we thought. He's not that good on the feet. So I don't know what I'm saying. He's not what we thought. He's just not that good on the feet. The Morales performance, he got touched. I get it. Sean Brady also got touched and got put down, but he's like, Sean Brady is kind of just chitty, right? Like he can't break, and big shots will put him down. He kind of quit against Malott, but he was getting wallboard and visibly hurt. Gilbert Burns kind of just got touched and he just started crumbling and sank to his knees. And I think he even said he thought about retiring. He thought about, dude, I don't even want to fight no more after being hit by Morales. And I get Morales is a far more dangerous striker than Mike Malott, but Mike Malott does have some pop. Does have some pop in his hands. Chin Radke in 2 rounds. And I think he's going to find another round 2 KO here over Gilbert Burns. Round 1's going to probably be a little bit tricky. It's going to be a feeling out process, but I believe in round 2, he's going to find a finish. And Gilbert Burns just doesn't have the grittiness he used to have. Maybe the green light test, the betting gods bless Gilbert Burns, but I do think that Mike Malott is just going to finish him. I don't rate Mike Malott at all. I faded him in a lot of his fights, but I'm going to have to pick him here. I just don't see Gilbert Burns winning. And, I just don't see Gilbert Burns winning, sadly. Took a lot of damage in the JDM fight in the finish. Got pieced up in pretty much 50-45 by Sean Brady, and then just took more damage by Morales. So, yeah. Mike Malott is the pick, round 2 KO. Hope you guys enjoyed this card. The card isn't as bad. We will be tuning in. We'll be watching from start to end. I know I will. I know you guys will. Let me know your guys' predictions in the comments below. You guys disagree with any of my picks? Let me know. What fight are you guys looking forward to? Drop a comment. If you guys enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, jazzlovesmma, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.